Ladies and gentlemen, all aboard the short bus to hell. Please remember when boarding to keep your hands and feet inside the ride at all times. We are not responsible for missing items, brain lesions, cardiac arrest, the abandonment by a loved one, exploding kittens, or world domination by little green men. We will take credit for a good time and the occasional moistness you might feel at varying locations of your person. This ride may not be for everyone, and if that's you, please find the nearest window to throw yourself from the vessel. Buckle up and enjoy.
Hey, welcome back to Great Friends, OK People, the podcast where we spend our precious time trying to explain to you why we don't deserve to go to hell, but we are likely to end up there anyway. No surprise curveballs. I am Anthony this week, as usual.
And I am Hell's Bouncer.
Hell's Bouncer?
Cody.
Did you get a job in hell?
Yeah, I feel like I'm not going to go to hell. I'm not going to be sent there. But, like, Satan and God herself will, like, come up with an agreement, like, this is going to be his, like, 100 years of repentance. What the fuck ever. It's going to be his 100 years after he first dies, and he's just going to have to be a little bouncer. And just...
So let me ask then, if that makes you basically the Trump of the underworld, because...
the Trump of the underworld!
Because now you have the ability to bounce people out of the hell club, right? Out of being in hell. So you could do me a solid and pardon me when I end up there.
TBD.
Are you not sure about what the logistics of your job are?
TBD. I haven't gone through training yet. I haven't gone through onboarding.
That makes you a perfect hell diver then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's awesome. God, those fucking automatons. Hey, if you guys want to play with us.
That's all we're playing lately. We stopped playing Divinity Original Sin 2 and Pal World and what else? I feel like ESO we started real briefly before everything else started coming out.
Yeah, and I realized why I wasn't enjoying ESO, and it was because you were taking me on all the side quests.
Yeah, I like to do side quests.
And all the side quests are like the ones that just happen to be the endgame ones.
Oh, I don't know about that being my fault, but...
So I was like, I feel like I just did these. And quite literally, I had just recently done those on my other account.
Well, that's the problem with online games like that, is that the longer they go on, eventually the more their content gets scrambled around.
Oh, yeah.
So then, like, endgame stuff is now beginning stuff. And then, like, with Destiny, when Destiny 2 went free to play, it wasn't always free to play, I don't think, was it? Maybe it was.
I've never played it.
Maybe it was. But the intro of Destiny 1 is now the intro of Destiny 2, and Destiny 2 used to have its own intro. I don't know why they scrapped it, but now it's like, you do the intro from Destiny 1, and then they're like, alright, here's all the planets you can go to. And it's like, wait, what's the story? What am I doing?
Yeah, just like how when we first started ESO, and we ended up in that fucking, like, nether realm. Yeah. We had all those doors. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, and now you've talked about Dragon's Dogma 2 being the same intro as Dragon's Dogma 1, so it's like, what's fucking happening with these games?
Right, it's like I'm actually very shocked with as much energy and money and development they put into Dogma 2 that they just, like, rehashed it.
Well... We're not here to talk about video games as much as that would be fun for us. Probably boring as hell to everyone else who's come to listen to the fucked up things that we've done in our week.
Oh, God, St. Patrick's Day was a real...
Yeah, we gave a little tease on what you were doing, and it raised some questions with some people about you going to a swingers bar with your cousin.
It's the only nightclub in my hometown that turned into a swingers club. But it's not like a swingers sex club. It's literally where swingers of the older age go to meet people.
Where you found Skechers.
Yes. Oh, good old Skechers. Shout out Skechers.
That should give you chlamydia, according to my reading.
Oh, fuck.
Or gonorrhea, that's what it was.
Was it for me? I thought it was for...
Well, the reading was for K, but I said something about... Don't touch the gonorrhea black piece because then Skechers would give it to
Kane ate it.
Yeah, and then he took our sin away.
He surprisingly didn't get sick. I was really shocked.
If that's not perfect lineup of timing, that Kane wiped away the Black Death on Good Friday for us.
He took away our sins.
He took away our sins. And then you banished him to your parents' house because my kids were here.
Yeah. And he, the minute I got, as soon as I say, you want to go see Lola? He goes to the back door, he loses his absolute loving shit, bounces up and down, barks at me, everything, and then, as soon as we get in the car, he is in the driver's seat, whining, screaming, quite literally screaming, and doesn't want to go. And I'm like, well, we need to make a decision here. So I'm like, you want to go home? And then he kind of makes these ear motions like he kind of wants to. And then we get to my parents' house, and he just runs inside and is like, I'm never seeing you again, see ya.
Does he just not like the car? Is that the issue?
I don't know. Because he's never been good in the car, but he only behaves the way that he behaves on my way to my parents whenever I ask him, you want to go see Lola?
Thank God it's only what did you say, 5-10 minutes, not a 30-minute drive?
Yeah, it's a 7-minute drive, and it's the most miserable 7 minutes of my life. So when I first moved up, when I first got him and I would come to visit from Cincinnati, it was 3.5 hours. I had to drug him.
Yeah.
And he would sleep on my arm, which I had to keep on the stick shift.
So he wouldn't hit it?
No, just to...
Oh, just so you could...
Because he has to touch me. He's got to always be touching me. Ugh. He's my little hellhound. Speaking
of beings that have to constantly touch you, what a fucking day with my kids, huh?
Dude, your kids are fucking great.
They're not great. They were great to you because you got to be entertained by them and their bullshit, and then they got to leave. And now you don't have to see them again for another 24 hours.
Well, no, but I can fully understand and appreciate the fact that it's a lot.
So,
because we didn't get anything done. We were here, you came, over at 1?
Yes, we're on there.
And it's, 7:30 now?
Yeah.
And they only just left maybe 30 minutes ago? I get it. I fully understand it, but I also I feel like I'm somebody who's at an advantage with kids because of how much I worked with them, for, I think, 10 years doing the summer camp and after school program, and I had the same kids year round. But, yeah, I don't know. Your kids are cool, especially Bubby.
So let's start with the start of my trip and how that went and how
what trip?
The trip here.
The trip no! Driving. Was it hell?
No, the drive wasn't bad at all. In fact, the drive was great. It was all right. So I'd like to start off by premising that premising is not the right word. Prefacing. That's it. I was like, premising is not it. Prefacing. I know words are very important to you people. You will not let me say them incorrectly or say the wrong one. I like to start by prefacing the saying, I am a father who does his best and doesn't always understand how things work when it comes to children and their things. So.
Oh, no.
We get on the highway from the main roads in Akron. And we get on the highway, and it's a bit of a curve highway. And from the back seat, I hear, whoa! Go ahead and open the text message now.
Oh, no.
I'll put the picture up here so you guys can see it. But before I continue with this story, everyone who's listening is now sworn to secrecy that nobody can tell Kristen what I'm about to reveal to you.
Wait a minute. So you heard all he did was react like, whoa!
Yeah.
Is that why the pizza rolls were smashed?
Maybe. He lost his pizza rolls, he lost his cup, he lost his tablet, and I try to fish because Amelia's a dickhead.
He just looks like he's having, honestly, it's kind of like a little roller coaster ride, and he's just he's buckled in.
So, he's buckled in his car seat, but apparently his car seat's not belted in the right way to be set up. So I think, because I went through the bottom, and I think I was supposed to go through the back, and the back's supposed to hug the seat to the car seat itself.
Where's Baby Trace?
In front with me. I put him in his booster seat.
Oh.
And so I hear Bubby go, whoa! I look back, and I see this image, and I'm like, Bobby, what are you doing back there? And he's just going,
Is Amelia saying anything?
No, Amelia's not saying shit. And then I reach my arm back and I push it back straight up again. And he falls over a second time shortly after that, so I had to push him back up again. And all of his shit fell over to the spot in between them, but almost touching Amelia's seat. And I said, Millie, can you get your brother his shit that he dropped? And she goes, I can't reach it. And she's just rubbing the arm of her seat. She's like, I can't reach it. I said, Amelia, you're not fucking trying.
This is fucking hysterical.
All while I was eating my fucking chicken and rice that I brought to your house and just put on your table.
The giant tub?
Yeah, the giant tub of Chinese
You were eating
food.
that while you're driving.
Yeah. So I gave my giant bowl of rice and chicken to Trace. I said, here, hold this. And I'm driving on the highway while reaching around fishing for his shit in the back seat. And I said, we gotta stop. We gotta pull over to the curb or the shoulder or whatever. We gotta find somewhere we can stop so I can fix Bubby's seat. And I said, that sounds like a really big hassle. We're already pressed on being there. When I said we were going to be there, I said, I've got an idea. And I sat Bubby back up the second time, and then I pushed Trace's seat all the way back. So it
Did it work?
The car seat. And Bubby was like leaned back almost, like a sleeping position. But he was there. He didn't fall over again.
I mean, that is the dad ingenuity. That is dad ingenuity. So,
Trace is like, why'd you move me back? I said, because it's going to sandwich Bubby and not move him, not let him fall over again.
that is awesome. This is fucking hysterical.
So if
again, it's a secret.
So if you're a government official, that was all totally a joke and didn't happen. I naturally pulled over as soon as I saw and fixed the car seat the right way. I think I sold that pretty well.
Yeah, so that's fucking hysterical, and I'm glad I didn't see that until now because
I was gonna send it to you. I
probably would have
I'll
talked
save
about it. I probably would have talked about it in front of Kristen.
So then I got here with the kids. You were still doing your last meeting wrap up. What even today's a blur. Like we showed up like 6 hours ago, and I feel like I just kind of blurred through the whole thing.
I'm surprised you didn't pass out on the couch.
I almost did. So we got Millie saying she's tired of my wife.
She walks in, comes up to me, and she goes, "I'm just real tired of my mom."
Who wasn't even here.
And unprompted.
Yeah.
Unprompted.
Because we set him up in the bedroom. Because we're like, by the time we were getting ready to come down and record.
No, this is long before the bedroom.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, this is long before the bedroom. This is literally like right when she walked in.
Oh, okay.
And then finally I was like, do you guys want to just go in the back room? And they're like, yes. So then I put them in the back room, the guest room. It's not like some like...
It's not some...
it's not some like...
It's where the
it's
where the Wayfair children go.
It's my guest room. It's in the back of the house. And then all of a sudden, his youngest comes out and goes, who is 2, right?
Yeah.
Barely can put words together. Some words. And just, clear as day, goes, sissy?
Yeah, sissy sucks.
Sissy sucks. And I was just like, the fuck? And what kills me about his kids, or your kids, is the fact that like they have contextual correctness with everything that they say.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like...
They're unbearably smart, but never in the way that you want them to be. And then,
so, like, yeah, your oldest is a perfect example of that. He knows how to game the situation. So he's getting those sticky balls, and he's like, I can't do the sink. And I'm like, you can do the sink. Can you help me? You're 9.
Yeah.
So then he's like, well, can you get me paper towels? It's like, I already pre-cut you paper towels. I can't get them. Why can't you? They're literally right there.
I wonder where those paper towels were, because when Kristen was getting the kids together to take them home and wanted help loading them up, she's like, can you wipe up the slushy that's on the table? I said, yeah. And I'm looking around like, there's a paper towel roll. I saw paper towels, so I know there's a roll somewhere, but I didn't know where it was. And then I saw all the sheets of paper towels, and I said, I don't know what this was made for, but I have a feeling it was because of my kids being here.
Yeah,
I just grabbed those
he
and wiped
could
those
easily reach the paper towel roll, but he knew that he can get me to pre-rip those. And I was like, this dude.
Yeah. If he's just lazy long enough.
Very lazy, but he knows how to gamify it to the point where he can get people to do what he wants, and I'm not having it. So, like, the way that I talk to your kids is exactly how I would talk to the kids at the after-school and summer camp. It was always dry, straightforward, and basically just reaffirming that they knew what they were doing and they could do it themselves. And I think that's probably why all kids just like me.
Except Amelia, who tried to wash her hands.
Oh, yeah. No one taught me how to do this. And I'm like, I know for a fact your parents have taught you this. So I'm doing this.
Like, literally every time we go to the bathroom in a public place or whatever, we go in, we let her go to the bathroom, she comes back out, we pick her up, she gets the soap on her hands, she knows how to rub her hands together, and then gets into the water. And so when you went to go help her to lift her up into the sink, she's just smacking her head. I don't know how to do this.
And I'm sitting here, I'm like, huh? So she's got the soap in her hands, and I'm like showing her. I'm like, use your thumb to get this side, do this, and she's just like, I'm like, okay, let's dry your hands off. So I gave her the towel, and then she looked at the towel like it was a foreign object, and I was like, I don't know what's happening here, but okay.
She said something so sassy.
Oh, dude, I almost lost my shit. Not like in a bad way, but like I was like, fuck, it's happening again. There's a teddygram on the ground in the bathroom.
Oh.
And I thought it was a turd.
And you have every reason to believe that because I've reported to you.
Well, and she's touched me. She's gotten it on her hands and touched. Remember when I was sitting at your house? I was like, what does that smell?
Oh, yeah.
And she got it on my pants?
Yeah. You were like, Amelia, did you poop? And she's like, no. Just poop hanging out the side of her underwear.
She gives me a hug and she touched my pants. And I was like, oh my God, damn it. So that's why I was like, fuck, is that really a turd? And then I like got closer to it and I was like, oh, it's just a teddygram.
And then the one time she was in the bathroom by herself and she pooped. And this is not normal for her, which is what was so baffling about it. Was she pooped, but she was taking a long, long time. We're like, something's wrong. She's taking way too long in there. So Kristen goes in to check on her, and all I hear is, "Are you fucking kidding me?" It was like, "Oh God, what did she do?"
Was this when it was on the wall?
Yeah,
oh,
yeah. Fuck. I thought she was like tearing up toilet paper or just throwing a bunch of it in the toilet or something. No, she apparently, I don't know if she was trying to wipe first. I pray she was trying to wipe first and just missed. I swear to God, if she was just like, "Oh, clay."
Oh, mud.
Ooh, piece of candy.
So, I know we were not going to do the sibling smash, but I have a very fucking terrible story, and my cousins know this story, and they make fun of me for it all the time. But my sister, who's older than me, and my brother, who is 2 years younger than me, for some unknown, godforsaken fucking reason, when we were younger, in my parents' house, we had our own bathroom. It's like the kids had a bathroom, my parents had a bathroom. And in this bathroom, everyone had their own drawer.
Mm-hmm.
So it was my sister, me, and then my brothers had their own drawer. I was in that stage of being a kid where I'd go in there and I'd think I was making potions and I was a sorcerer and all this bullshit. So I'd put all these things together. And I had this, like, you remember when bandages came in like a tin?
Yeah.
So I had this tin and I kind of like would keep things in there that like I would find like on like a walk in the woods with like, my friends. And I would put them in there and I don't know why I needed to be in the bathroom drawer, but I just felt like that was my spot. It was like my ADHD pile. So one day I'm in the bathroom and I'm going through, I don't know how old I was, but I had to be like 8 or 9. And so that would make my sister 10, 11, potentially 12. And then my brother 2 years younger than me. I open up the bandage thing. And for some fucking reason, I don't know what I did to deserve this. And to this day, I don't know. And I would love to know. So if either of my brother or sister sees this, 1, I hope you're embarrassed. And 2, just come clean and tell us why. But it was a fucking turd wrapped in toilet paper.
Oh my God.
And stuffed in my fucking bandage bin.
Okay.
And
I have a question. Was the toilet paper wet? Like
it was dry.
Okay, so that means then, because I said that I asked that because that means one of two things. Their method was either to shit in the toilet and then they had to grab it, which would have soaked the toilet paper,
or shit in their hand,
or shit in their hand with a cover of toilet paper on it.
Yeah, so
which is far more barbaric.
Extremely barbaric. Well, it came to years later that it was one of the siblings who I will not call out, but it was the one that you wouldn't expect. So I'm not calling you out, but it was the one you wouldn't expect. And if you know anything about my family, that actually is not going to be a direct call out because of my brother and sister. One is disabled and one is just a woman. So you would never know.
Just their limited minds.
Yeah,
the
I'm not. No.
I like how you agreed with it.
No, I had to catch myself
I
there.
had to throw in some classic sexism,
God.
and you're like, yeah, their limited mind capacities.
No. So
who let these bitches
It's
vote?
the one you would least expect, and I'm not going to say who, but they admitted it. But they would not tell me or my parents why. But they thought it was the funniest fucking thing in the world, and to this day, it bothers me.
The demons you must
It
fight.
disturbs me.
When you lose sleep. Is this why you were awake at 5 in the morning? You were thinking about the poop in your
It's like I was fighting in Fallujah. Just keeps me up at night. And
you're Vietnam.
My cousins will message me randomly and be like, for your birthday, we're going to get you a turd and a tin. And it's just like the stupidest shit in the world. And it kind of makes me regret even like telling my cousins, but then it's also like, why am I telling this podcast? So it's what the fuck ever at this point. I knew doing this podcast was going to open myself up to all of the bullshit in my life, so it's fine.
That's the weird thing about it. And I found that since starting O4E and then continuing to this, I tell people things on this podcast that I would never in a million years tell a random coworker sitting next to me. I wouldn't be like, hey, let me tell you about this bitch at the strip club I saw. I just don't tell anybody this shit. And then I'm here on the podcast.
Okay, well, the strip club story I will openly tell.
I'm like, let me just tell these strangers. Maybe that's what it is. You can't see their faces. So.
Right, and maybe that is what it is. But it's funny because like I watch all these podcasts and like the clips and stuff on TikTok. And I think that we all do the same thing. Like, there are so many things that it looks like they will openly talk about that I just don't think they would ever come up in regular conversation.
That's a great segue into the videos we're going to watch. We won't go there yet. We can still talk some more, but
oh no.
It's just like there are TikToks that I come across, and then Kristen is the one responsible for these ones we're going to watch today. And
are these the ones we were supposed to watch last week and we didn't?
We were supposed to watch last week and the week before.
Oh yeah, okay.
We kept kicking the can down the road. But
such is life.
It's just the things that people will tell a random faceless audience, and I just look at these TikToks and I go, God himself could not have pulled that confession out of me. Why are you telling people this shit?
I am really, 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 really shocked at some of the things that I have seen and heard. Remember Yahoo Answers?
Yeah.
Oh God.
I used to go to Yahoo Answers a lot for some
things people would post on there, like, oh, I accidentally slept with my sister. How did you accidentally sleep with your sister? And it's just like, well, now we're kind of in love. And I'm like, you please tell me that your username is something no one will ever recognize. But yeah, I mean, and I think TikTok is worse. And what's scary about TikTok is not even TikTok. It's Facebook, Reels, Instagram, Reels, because they're both the same. But like, I may not want certain people to see it. It's like I'm not going to share it to them. I'm not going to let it be like widely broadcast. But because they're in my contacts book, because they're connected to me on one or more social media, they're gonna see it.
Right.
And I never fucking can get over the fact that, like, they may not even follow any of the shit that's on my For You page, but because the For You page is so vindictively evil,
yeah. Well,
it's gonna get to them.
Well, that's what I was saying. I mean, with the last episode, I mentioned that the one coworker was like, yeah, so I was scrolling through TikTok, and I didn't need to hear about your poop movement. And I was like, oh, yeah, I guess I didn't really think about the algorithm feeding people that I work with on my friends list.
No. Oh, God. Yeah, I'm always kind of like, because I have, for 9 years of where I've worked, like damn near a decade, a lot of my life is work. And I'm always kind of like, fuck, please do not let this get back to them. Please do not let this get back to them. But at this point in my life, I'm just like, you know, at this point, what the fuck ever.
It was kind of a point that I reached, because I know that you had some concern with that when we originally started. You're like, we can't get too crazy into the woods.
Yeah.
And Russ had the same thing when we started Overdue for Extinction. He was like, I'm going to be limited on some of the things that I would normally say freely because I don't want this to endanger the future potential careers that I might have. And I'm just like, I've been working in the same factory for 8 years. Fuck them. What are they going to do? Fire me?
I mean, honestly, as long as they don't break any of their social media policies, which I haven't done, and I'm not wearing any clothing, and I don't say their name or that they endorse anything that I'm talking about, then I'm fine.
Right.
As long as it's like, you know, not SA or murder or stupid shit like that, which is not happening.
And we did say in the first episode that our companies are not affiliated with our.
Yes, that's true. It's like the Disney disclaimer. They're not affiliated in any way whatsoever, and they do not carry the same beliefs or views on anything that I carry. And it still stands true, but it's just an interesting kind of grody feeling. Sometimes I'm like, oh fuck, I put that on the internet. Damn it. So it is what it is, especially with this story about the strip clubs that's coming up soon.
Better your words than your dick, I guess. Put on.
Yeah.
You don't want someone coming across that and being like, "Do I talk to him that I found his video?" Or
fuck. It is what it is, and we don't kink shame. So I mean, hopefully,
at least not to people. To each other, it's a whole new ballgame.
Yeah, no.
Tell them about that dolphin pussy.
Are you gonna put that picture up too?
I'm absolutely not putting that picture up.
You probably no. You actually can't. I don't think you would be able to. We would literally be blocked from TikTok, I think.
We're fighting enough battles on there.
Fuck. In a nutshell, somebody in the Discord is really trying to get banned from what we have a sub channel called Anti-Ban Hammer Room, and this person in particular. Posted a dolphin's vagina.
He's gonna thank us for the shout out.
And I'm not giving him a shout out. And this person is like spreading it. It's like, I'm assuming it's from a marine biology kind of standpoint that the picture came from, but the Twitter, fuck X, I'm gonna always call it Twitter, caption was like, oh, this pussy's better than
human pussy.
A human pussy. Human pussy looks nasty, which, like, yeah, all genitalia does. But, like, this dude was like, I would suck this pussy for a dolphin any day whatsoever. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, I'm going to
the person that posted it didn't say they would suck it.
Yeah, the person who posted it. Or the original poster, not the person who posted it in the Anti-Ban Hammer Room. But I'm sitting here and I'm just like, you put this on the internet with your profile picture. It's his profile picture. Your regular Twitter name. It wasn't like a fake Twitter account. It wasn't a Finsta. It was literally just like anything he would be posting in general. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, your auntie now knows that you want to suck a dolphin's pussy. And
what a terrible combination of words that I never thought I would hear. Never thought I would hear those words strung together.
Oh my God, I know. And so now, in a nutshell, this person in the Anti-Ban Hammer Room for posting that meme is, trudging along to test those borders of what is Anti-Ban Hammer and what is Ban Hammer. Because maybe I should get like a hammer in the background, and then whenever I want to ban somebody from it, I just start smacking it. But yeah, I mean, it's. You ruined my day.
I gave him a timeout for all those Twinkie dog hostage pictures.
A real timeout?
But it was like 5 minutes. I was hoping it would tell him that he was.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
Oh. I love that.
The Anti-Ban Hammer Room just got some rules apparently.
Ooh. He posts those in the regular chat.
I don't know what it was for.
He posts
where they were. I just like, all right,
food combinations.
We're not negotiating with terrorists anymore.
But I'll give him some leeway for openly posting his purchased clown porn.
It's openly purchased.
So you have a little bit of a leeway since Tony is into the clown porn.
Why are we here? We were talking about my kids, and now we're talking about eating pussy, dolphin, and clown porn.
What the fuck else kind of chaotic show is this going to be if we're not just bouncing around like a pinball machine from topic to topic?
Bouncing around like Trace into your fucking bookshelf.
All my little knickknacks.
He loves that you have a long wooden floor hallway they can just run down and then fucking slide in.
Isn't your hallway? Oh, your hallway's not long, though.
No. Though he did fall in that spray stuff that we've been fighting the flies with it leaves like an oily residue behind. And
done it over there.
I sprayed a ton of it because there were a bunch of flies between the bathroom and Millie's room. And I just sprayed a whole bunch of it, and they just all started falling, and that shit fell to the floor too. And Kristen got home right after that with the kids, and I said...
Did she fall?
No, she didn't. He did. I said, be careful. I just sprayed the flies in the corner of that area, so the floor is going to be slippery. And he goes, okay. Poof. I was like, you fucking idiot. I literally just told you.
Did he get hurt?
No, he laughed about it.
Oh, good. But, I mean, it's just like, that's also one of those hard lessons you're going to learn. That was what I learned today about him, is that he... Which is interesting, because he said he doesn't do this to his teacher. But remember I was trying to teach him what that teardrop weather thing is, and he would not stop interrupting me?
No, his teacher says he's very composed and helpful and behaved in class.
He's very helpful.
And we think that's why he's this way at home, because he contains it all. And then when he gets out, he has to unleash it.
That makes sense. But that was one thing I learned about him today, is like, he will not just listen.
No.
And so I got a little bit of enjoyment of being like, listen to me.
Boy.
Which I'm not going to call him. I will call him Baby Trace.
Baby Trace.
I love when he gets so mad about it. I'm like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
And children are such a joy. One thing, too, that I had listed in the bulletin originally to talk about was when we recently went to a Chinese buffet. And Oliver, we never know what Oliver wants.
Yeah.
Because sometimes he'll say he wants something and then he gets it and he's like, no, I want this. And he'll like bring a bag of chips to you open and you'll open it and then he'll go back and grab another bag of chips that he wanted instead. He just changes his mind on a whim. And he just grabs that and brings it out. I was like, no, you fucking have a bag of chips right there. Eat those fucking things first. So we went to a Chinese buffet and we got him an assortment of like sweet and sour chicken and cheese sticks and gelatin cubes, and we thought we had a nice little assortment of like kid-friendly things that he'll like. And he's 2. And the only thing he wanted to eat off of was cheese sticks. He wouldn't touch anything else. And as soon as he finished the cheese sticks that were on his plate, he said, Daddy. I said, what? He said, Daddy, more. I said, more what? Because I'm like, what's missing from your plate? And he said, more dick. And I was like, I beg your finest pardon?
Your finest pardon.
And he's like, more dick. I'm like, not for me, you know.
I'm afraid of nudity, Oliver.
Shut the fuck up. No, apparently not when I'm Winnie the Poohing it around my house. According to what your friends think now. But in any case... So we figured out eventually he meant cheese stick.
Yeah.
But he can't say cheese stick because it's too long.
But where's the cheese?
Right, exactly.
So he just goes dick.
Yeah, it just says dick. And so we said, okay, eat some other food on your plate. We all just sat down and we want to eat our food. Just eat the other food on your plate. We'll go get more cheese sticks. Not good enough for him. He wants cheese sticks now, and that's the only thing he's going to touch. So then he starts saying more dick again. And I said, Oliver, I will get it for you when I get back up to go get more food. And he just will not let it go because he's focused on it. And now he's getting attention from me and laughing because he keeps saying more dick instead of cheese stick. So he thinks it's funny. So he starts chanting it. And he starts going, more dick, really loudly at the fucking restaurant.
Are there people around?
Yes.
Is this Kintaro?
Yeah, no, it wasn't Kintaro. It was someplace in Niles. It was just a little...
Oh, it was the Easter thing.
Yeah,
Easter
yeah. We went to the family religious Easter Christmas place that I hate going to.
Me.
But
that
he just...
welfare plate you sent me.
welfare
Jesus
plate.
Christ.
Yeah, and then he started screaming more dick. Not like screaming at the top of his lungs, but chanting it loud enough for people to start looking over. So, you know, there's fun. The kids are great.
I love it.
After all the chaos unfolded in Chris, I think it was right before Kristen got here, I was like, now you understand why I'm constantly tired and I sound defeated all the time.
Yeah, because like it was hard as fuck for us to play Helldivers.
Yeah. Yeah,
and I wonder if that's why we were struggling.
We decided to wait for Kristen to get home, and then we had issues with my portal not wanting to stay connected to the internet.
Well, no, but like the performance of the game.
Yeah.
Like us, like not doing well.
Maybe.
I don't know, but I was distracted by all the kids, which is fine because being in the moment with the kids is cool, but I definitely can see the drain it is, especially after not being around kids for so long. Like working with them. Like I don't forget it and like having to work with them, but like Fuck.
They just have so much energy,
Well,
and you're
I
just
thought for sure
a broken down person from adult responsibilities.
I thought your littlest two were Gucci, and then all of a sudden your oldest is just running around, fucking trying to do hardcore parkour up and down the hallway.
I think that's what his issue is. If everyone else is having a good time and are content, settled in where they are, he's having a bad time, and he's got to fucking fix that shit.
Yeah. Did he take the burrito blanket?
Yes. He made Kristen hold the bag open so he could stuff
Dude,
it
he was
in.
so ecstatic about that. And I mean, cool, if the kids find shit in my house that they want to take, like, go ahead and take it. But it was funny because, like, I could see that your two youngest were like, oh, we want to do something. And I was like, I have these gifts that aren't open yet. Like, I'll just give them to you. And his face lit up every time I pulled something out. I was like, here you go. Go ahead.
He'd immediately discard it. And then they started playing with Kane's dog rope.
Oh, yeah. And then I realized, after I give them all those toys that were unopened, that I could have just let them play with the dog toys.
Yeah.
And they would have been completely fucking content.
Yeah, because at one point you were trying to open the toys for them and give them to them, and Amelia's got one end of the rope, and Ollie's on his hands and knees holding the other side of the rope.
And she's like, come on, kitty.
Yeah, she's like, come on, kitty. I'm like, what? She's walking her cat.
Fucking hysterical. The shit that she says and the way that she says it in literally adult correct context it baffles me.
I just wish she'd stop smearing her shit on the walls.
I swear to God, if I see it anywhere in this house.
Every piece of chocolate you find, you're going to be so anxious about.
Like, I'm not even going to be mad. I will just be, like, I'd be appalled. And I'd probably gag a bit. But they're kids, so it's like, whatever. But it's just like, fuck.
Did you hear Trace gagging over that asparagus?
No, he tried it?
Yeah. He took a bit of bite off of it, and he's...
Which end?
Well, I think he tried to nibble the top of it, and he's like, I don't like the hairy part.
Hairy?
That's what he called the tip of it, and the temptation.
Ooh, that makes me feel weird.
The temptation of it welling up inside of me to not say a lot of people don't like it, but you can't ask people to shave because it's rude, and. I didn't say it. I let that one go.
Okay, you want to tell everybody what you told the two youngest to say do to him earlier?
To kick him in the dick?
Kick him in the
dick! Millie was complaining that Trace was being mean to her, so I'm like, kick him in the dick. Let's just put this to bed once and for all.
Now, I would have lost my shit if I would have saw her go up and stiffly kick him. I probably would have been on the floor. She didn't do it.
What was it that I said that Kristen started beating me savagely for? I can't even remember now.
It was the kick him in the dick, I think.
No, it wasn't. It was something entirely different.
Oh, fuck. I can't remember what it was either.
Although I did get hit at the Chinese buffet, too, because when Ollie was chanting more dick, I looked at Kristen and I said, we could use more of this energy in the house.
Yes. That's fucking hysterical. No, what the fuck was it? It was something about Millie.
I don't know, because she beat me twice. She hit me in the arm twice really hard. And then she washed her hands, and I knew she was going to try to put her wet fingers in my ears, so I fled to the living room. And I threw myself on the couch like in Helldivers, and I covered my ears so she couldn't get me.
And then Trace is trying to get involved. Like, he's like... I don't even... Oh.
He was running around going, John Cena, and running into people.
Oh my God. See, this is why I love your kids.
Oh my God.
They're hysterical.
I'm so glad I'm going to work tonight. Oh, piss.
And then I'm over here like, fuck, am I really about to babysit them tomorrow?
Yep. Gonna have a couple hours alone with them.
It's fine.
Ollie will be sleeping.
They won't be an issue at all.
Trace will probably be bothering you the most.
No, Trace is going to sit next to me on the couch, and I guarantee you what he's going to say is, is this your spot? And I'll be like, yeah. And then if I get up anywhere, I'll save it. I'll save your spot. Okay, buddy. Thanks.
Oh, my God. We should probably get on some actual content.
This is content. It's fucking hysterical.
It's not even what we came to talk about. I just want to show you Bubby's picture.
Another one?
No, just that one. The one in the car where you're sideways.
Oh, okay. Well, so then, what about the videos?
Oh, perfect. Okay, I think this is it.
I forgot about this, and I don't know if it's real. I've never understood if it was.
I made cinnamon rolls out of my yeast infection, and I have to say, They turned out pretty damn good. These are actually what I gave my husband for Valentine's Day. It's cinnamon rolls made from not only the yeast for my yeast infection, but also my breast milk. So it's like really natural. And when he tried it, he noticed immediately that they tasted a little different than they normally do when I make him cinnamon rolls. And he was like, what did you do differently? It's really good. And I said, actually, it was my yeast infection and breast milk, you know? One thing I will say is they taste like almost like sourdough. Like they're a little more sour than like a normal cinnamon roll would be. And I think that's due to it being like yeast from my body. But overall, I mean, they're good. He liked them. He did say they were different, but like not in a bad way.
That can't be real. I've seen like the 10-second clips of people like duetting this, and I was too afraid to actually watch the full thing. But what I saw was her tongue.
Yep, I got one of that video too.
And a doctor duetted it. And it made me think maybe it was real, but then I'm like, is she just doing this all for clout?
I mean, if you fucking...
How would you... That's not yeast that you can cook with.
How do you think she harvested it? You just get like a scalpel and start scraping the inside?
No, it would be like a fucking... You know, like those like medicine things for kids that are like a spoon?
Yeah.
That's probably what she fucking used. I guarantee you that's probably what she used. She wouldn't scalpel it. It would literally be like... It's like... Oh, God, fuck.
But I didn't know, maybe she like...
So I've had a yeast infection in my throat. And because I thought it was strep throat years ago, and it turned out to be an yeast infection. And they like didn't know how I got it.
That's why you gotta vet who you date.
But I hadn't had any action at that point. So I think it's just like something that happens. But there was nothing in my throat. So like, how would you have baked with this? Which is why I'm questioning this. But there's more. Oh God,
I got 3.
Oh God, there's the tongue.
Yep, there's the tongue. All right, I don't know what this one is yet. I gotta double check it real quick here. Oh, here we go. Here's how people want to know how she harvested the yeast. We're gonna get our answers here.
Oh no.
You ready?
I used a menstrual cup to harvest my yeast infection, and I will admit, when I was making the cinnamon rolls, I did end up adding a little bit of the like yeast you would get from the grocery store, just because I was scared that my yeast infection wouldn't make it rise, but I at least wanted it to be a part of the roll, because, you know, it was for Valentine's Day. I wanted to make them extra special for my husband, and I wanted it to be a really personal gift, something that no one else could have given him, and which is why I used my breast milk and yeast infection as well. And my milk, I used it straight from the tap, you know, so it was like warm. So the good thing about that is it was like the perfect temperature to activate the yeast. So I didn't have to worry about heating it up and it getting too hot or anything like that. Like it's like my body was made to bake.
I can be fine with the breast milk. I personally would not drink it. But I feel... Did you try it?
Try what?
Kristen's
Milk?
breast milk.
No.
I feel like every guy like tries it.
She was barely able to produce.
Because like I feel like I would try it, but I would never like fucking... Oh God, I'm getting sick. But that video right then and there made me think that this isn't real because... And we'll watch the rest of them, but I have some thoughts.
Okay. What if you were brought cinnamon rolls by a significant other? She's like, well, I wanted to make it special in a way that nobody else could make you cinnamon rolls, so I used my yeast infection.
If I was 25 years married to this hoe, and she did this to me, I would be calling my attorney before she could even finish the word infection. I would have her served. before she could even scoop one of these fucking things onto a plate.
No, of course she would naturally be waiting for you to eat it first and then ask you if it tasted any different than normal.
Oh,
You look a little ill, buddy.
she would not be able to even... Like, I would quarantine her to the kitchen.
You'd quarantine her to the kitchen?
Because if she baked it, I'm assuming that's where all, like, her yeast infection is. And I wouldn't let her even fucking... I would literally, like... I'd probably call the cops.
I think at this point you have a right to murder her.
Like, a fucking yeast infection? The fact that she keeps calling it a yeast infection, though, like...
What do you want her to call it, though? Her love goo?
It ain't that, though, either. But, like, you cooked with your yeast infection? No one wakes up and is like, I'm going to make something special with my yeast infection. Like, if you actually thought it was yeast, maybe.
There are, what, 8 billion
But the fact that
people?
she's like, it's an infection, like, you know what the word infection means.
There's, what, like 8 billion people on this planet? Someone out there's got to be real enough to do this.
I have thoughts about that, too. Go ahead.
Alright, we got the white tongue that you're familiar with. Let's go ahead and get that one.
This is why you should not make cinnamon rolls or any baked goods out of your yeast infection. I just want to do some damage control because I know I came on here and said I made cinnamon rolls out of my yeast infection and they turned out really good. And they did. They tasted really good. But we consumed them. And 2 days later, these white spots start popping up on mine and my husband's tongue. And I'm Googling what that means. And it says it's oral thrush, which is essentially a yeast infection for your mouth. And the reason we have it is because we consumed my yeast infection. So what I thought was a very special Valentine's gift, truly a pastry made with love from things that came from my body, turned out to be the present of oral thrush. And it's not fun having it. It's not the most comfortable thing to live with. It's kind of painful, and I just feel so bad for giving it to my husband. And I'm thinking I need to make it up to him in some way. Now, I would make a pastry out of my breast milk again, but the yeast is just not worth it. Just go buy yeast from the grocery store. And if you want to, you can just lie and say it is your yeast infection that's in it, but it's definitely not worth it. Anyway, I just wanted to come on here because I felt obligated to do that damage control because I know a lot of you look up to me and are influenced by me and we're thinking about trying that just because I did, but don't do it.
She's lying.
Like, there had to be a public announcement to not...
That's not what thrush on the tongue looks like, I don't think.
I mean, I'm no doctor.
Oh, fuck me. I think this is her way of covering her ass, because people try to do it.
Watch it. Oh, my God. Oh, God. All right, we got one last one. You look like every time she says yeast infection, you want to throw up a little bit.
Sick.
You, like, feel it starting to rise a little.
Oh, fuck me.
All right, one more, buddy. We can make it through this. Bringing this saga home.
What's making me the sickest is just how fucking stupid people are.
Here we go.
My husband told me he wants to separate tonight over the cinnamon rolls that I made him for Valentine's Day. When I made those cinnamon rolls with my yeast infection, I thought it was a really sweet and personal gift, and my reasoning behind it was because you know how when you get married to become one, I thought the cinnamon roll was like a good representation of our marriage because my body and the roll, which represents his body, became one. Kind of like when you do communion at work, or I mean at church. You know, Jesus' body is the bread. I thought it was a sweet gift, but you know, because I didn't tell him it was my yeast infection before he ate some, he said that I betrayed his trust and he doesn't want to be with me anymore.
Alright, I'm 112% convinced that this is all a skit.
If I found out that my wife had given me oral thrush from feeding me her yeast infection and a cinnamon roll. Fuck. Betrayal of trust would not even remotely be close to the words that came from my mouth.
The amount that I would sue her for the emotional damages, she would never recover. Cue the Tiger King clip. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
I'm going to send it to you. You need to interject it with this. In this exact part right here. There's a part where he's like, I'm never going to financially recover from this. That would literally be...
Oh, Tiger King. I thought you said Tiger King. I was like, what is Tiger King? That would literally
be her right then and there. I would make sure that every single person from her mother to her priest to her boss to her kindergarten teacher would know that the education system failed her.
I thought you were going to say those were the list of people you were going to sue for letting her get to a point of adulthood where she could make this decision.
That'd be a really good idea, too. just like for failing the education system. The education system failed her, and I saw her wearing a t-shirt that said Mount Rainiers. Like, is she from Washington? I don't know, but I thought the education system there was okay, and I'm just like...
This is what you expect from Florida.
Or Texas. Fuck me. Fuck me.
But
like, I saw the tongue one ahead of this, and I had seen, like, some context around it, but I had never seen all the videos, and I'm still 112% convinced that it was a skit.
I can't tell you. I was wondering the entire time. I was like, I can't tell. I can't tell. Someone out there
because
is stupid enough.
That cinnamon roll, first off, looked like a Costco cinnamon roll. Costco, if you know, you know. And secondly, she like was fake crying at the end. You saw it in the last video.
Yeah.
It was like forcing herself to. But the one about her tongue makes me think that people were messaging her that they did it.
I don't doubt it. I did notice as I was going through and saving these videos to do what?
Just please.
That
I don't want to be the bouncer to hell anymore.
The bottom caption did say #satire.
It did?
Yeah.
Okay, good. But I really, really wonder if people had done it.
I feel like someone did. Someone was probably like, it's Valentine's Day. What sexier thing could you do than to make baked goods using your yeast infection?
Did you know it was satire going into this?
Today, yes. When I first started seeing these videos, I didn't know.
I'm glad that I was right, that it was definitely... Oh, fuck me, though. I was feeling sick.
And now I'm just picturing if Kristen ever came to me with these words, I'd be
Are there more?
No.
I thought you had other ones.
No, I'm saying if Kristen came to me with these words and told me she baked me something with her yeast infection, I wouldn't even question if she was fucking with me or not. I'd probably be like, what's the cost of child support? Because it just became worth getting the fuck out of here.
There would be no money that would stop me from trying to relocate.
Take the kids.
There would be no amount of money that would stop me. If it was $482 million.
Take the kids with me, and then when I get pulled over from having
I would likely find
Amber Alert put on me.
Oh God!
I'd be like, no, she fed me her yeast infection. We're leaving, and I think I would get a cop escort after that point.
I think, Jesus Christ, all that sugar today with the kids is coming down on me. I think that if I called the cops and was like, this psycho, aka my wife, just fed me her yeast infection in a cinnamon roll, the SWAT team would show up. The SWAT team would show up. Because they would just know. They would hear it in my voice that I was too calm to not be homicidal.
You know what this would turn into? Have you ever seen... I think there have been several TikToks made of it, but there was a real 911 voice call where the dude's like, yeah, someone shot my wife. And... the 911 operator is like, what? And he's like, yeah, I don't know, it was weird. Some dude, someone random I've never seen before, just walked in, shot my wife, and left. And they're like, are you okay? Is he in the house with you? And he's like, No, I think it went pretty okay. I think things are okay. It's just real unfortunate that they shot her dead, and yeah, she's dead. Like it was like this dude was like very clearly the one who shot her.
it?
Yeah, and he like called to try to lie and tell it that some random person just walked in off the street and shot her.
I've never heard of that one.
Oh my god, I'll have to try to find it again and send it to you. Though I'm pretty sure you haven't seen a lot of my videos in a few days because I've been sending you a lot of Dragon's Dogma ones, and I'm not hearing anything back from them.
Yeah, the inbox is at 52.
God damn it, Cody. Just fucking watch my videos.
I will tonight.
I send you comedy gold. You're going to do it tonight when we stay up late in solidarity?
Are we staying up?
I fucking am from 11 p.m. to 3 p.m.
No, like, are you going to go home and play Helldivers?
Oh, I don't know. Probably not going to nap. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. Except cry that I have to go to work. Why'd I do this?
I'm still not understanding why I was up until 5 a.m.
I didn't even know you were up till 5 a.m.
I texted you this morning.
Oh, you told me you were.
Why is this on?
Just saying I didn't know that you were up till 5 when I went to bed.
Yeah, when we stopped playing with Russ last night, I went to bed. I was tired. And all of a sudden, I'm playing this game on my phone. And I looked at the clock and I was like, oh, it's 1:30. Cool, I'm going to start winding down. So I started winding the game down. And then all of a sudden, I closed the game down. 2:30. Okay, I thought I was winding down. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, all right, cool. I'm literally putting my phone down. 2:30. Put my phone down. Oh, my yeast infection I'm going to make later. I put my phone down at 2:30, and then I literally laid there staring at the ceiling fan, just spinning. And then it was 5 o'clock. And I finally was able to go to bed. And then we're here. So, yeah. It's been a fucking day.
It has been a real fuck of a day. Children, yeast infections. Basically the same. Is that your lover?
No.
Oh. Your lover that's going to bake you yeast infection cupcakes? How's that dolphin?
Anyone makes me a baked good, you're trying it before anybody
How's
else.
that dolphin pussy looking now? I can't believe I said that. I don't know if
How's that dolphin pussy? Oh, fuck me.
I don't think I can clip anything from this episode for TikTok.
We can.
I
We'll
mean-
find something.
It's fucking yeast infection.
No, we should tag the yeast infection video, duet it with one of our...
I did hear back from the Poop Law girl when I did that. I made a clip for O4E and I tagged her in it, and she responded. And she's like, "I'm so glad we were able to inspire you to do this."
Seriously?
Yeah. I was like, wow, I didn't expect her to actually write back. But then I think I went to her page and saw she didn't actually have like a ton of followers. She just had
Right.
one hit video that was it.
Oh, so then she's just like, I'm looking for something.
Yeah.
Fuck. I'm going to be thinking about this the rest of the day.
You're gonna be up till 5 in the morning thinking about a yeast infection cinnamon roll.
I feel like I'm getting oral thrush just thinking about it.
My tongue does feel a little fuzzy now.
Ugh, fuck me. Gross.
I think my insides feel a little bit fuzzy after that Sonic.
So nasty. Oh, dude.
You were
I
like,
don't know if it was the burger that really sent me into a furious emergency or if it was the chili cheese tots. But I do know that I did not need the tots, but I haven't had them in so long that I was like, I really want them. But I didn't need them, and that burger was so fucking good. And it's so weird because I would not expect Sonic to make a good burger like that.
you're like, my faith in Sonic has been restored, and like 10 minutes later, you're
I'm like
I gotta go to the bathroom.
rushing to the bathroom.
Well, Trace was trying to talk to you.
And I was like, stop. And he like got mad at me because I told him to stop. And I was like, dude, I gotta go. I was like, you're not standing outside this door talking to me right now.
He would, though. Remember I fucking farted in your kitchen? He's like, get the fuck out of here.
I was trying to forget about that. I'm telling you, he was on like some performative shit today. He was very performative. Yeah, I don't know what that, but going in there and just eating that up the way that he did.
I really wish I knew what it was I got beat for now.
I'm gonna harass him tomorrow about that.
About standing outside the bathroom to talk to you?
No, going into the kitchen and sniffing every ounce of that horrid gas up. God. And then Kristen, thank God. At least she didn't have to walk through it because he already took it all. He inhaled it. I'm like, dude, weren't you just hungry? Didn't you just eat dinner? You shouldn't be hungry.
And at least with all the grease that was on that hamburger and those tater tots, I'm sure your emergency went pretty smooth.
Was log worthy?
I'm gonna be writing about it. Did Kristen tell you about the clogged toilet?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like clogged the entire day.
The day?
Yeah.
You had to come home and fix it.
Yeah. I tried to flush it twice when I first did it. And it was like 3:47. That was that morning that I got up in the middle of the night, took a 10-minute shit. And it wouldn't flush. Why are we talking about this now? We're already here. People are invested. We might as well. And then I went back to bed. I got up for work. I left for work. And then Kristen got up at the same time that I got up to go to work. And she tried to go to the bathroom. And she flushed it, but it wouldn't go down. And I didn't use an absorbent amount of toilet paper. I used the necessary amount of toilet paper. It was just a huge shit. And I don't know why I'm talking about shit so much.
You have a poop log. Who cares?
But it's just like, I don't want people to be like, wow, he really thinks about shitting all the time. When you record every shit you take, you become kind of very aware of it. It becomes
One
a
with the
very
log.
big part of your life. One with the log. And so she tried to flush, it wouldn't go down. So she scowled at me and went to the downstairs bathroom.
Of course.
And she came back up. And then I thought she would have fixed it at some point during the day. Not at all.
Did she try?
I don't know. I don't know if she did. I think she just kind of left it. So I sat dwelling in the toilet, waiting menacingly for somebody to come by and open the lid. And I flushed it again that evening, and it still wouldn't go down. I was like, I don't know, I guess it's just in there forever now. And she's like, take the plunger up with you the next time you go up. So at bedtime that night, like a whole 12 hours have passed. 12, 16 hours. I take the plunger up, and before I stick it in, I flush it, and it raises up, almost overflows, which would have been a whole nother nightmare. And then I was like, well, I guess it didn't work. I'm going to have to plunge it. And it just went, and it went down. And then I heard the toilet gurgling for its life.
And you just got the main line snaked.
Yes.
So it's
probably clogging up
probably
again.
need that snake again. I had a roommate. How many years ago was this? 2013, I think. Who, in every bathroom of the house, he would line the water with toilet paper before he would take a shit.
Why? So that shouldn't smear on the bowl?
No, so people didn't hear him. But like, whatever. So he used all that toilet paper, and it was like a fucking burger. It was like toilet paper, bun, shit patty, and then bun for more toilet paper. And he would clog it because he was so cheap that he would buy the toilet paper or steal it from like restaurants. But it was like those rolls that are huge that would last forever, and it's like single ply. So he would use so much of it that it wouldn't go anywhere. And he would leave the fucking toilet. And he would leave it there. He wouldn't even try to plunge it. One time it stayed there for 4 days.
You know his family battled that for years and years.
So his mother ended up moving into the house with us for a while. And he still did it with her there.
Absolutely. He was doing it since he lived with her originally.
And at one point, I remember her going off on him. And I guess, I don't remember it ever happening again after that. She finally had to yell at him, and he got it. But I'm sitting here, I'm like, you have 2 degrees, and you can't figure out how to use the toilet?
Roommates in college are the fucking worst. My first set of roommates were partiers, and at the time I didn't smoke weed at all. One of them was a big pothead, and I didn't like it at the time. And one of the other ones was a big drinker, and the other one was a big nerd that had like 4 monitors on his desk, so we could do a bunch of like gaming and computer shit and all that at the same time. And the partiers, I went to sleep over at my girlfriend's dorm the one night, and I came back because I had to get my shit for classes the next morning. And an RA, one of the ones who had stick up his ass about everything, came up next to me when I was getting ready to come in. He's like, "Are your roommates in?" I said, "I don't know. I just got back home." And I opened the door, just trashed dorm apartment, beer cans, bottles, spilled alcohol, just everything.
It wasn't there before you left?
No, I left. They were like playing video games and shit. And then I came back to the after party. And nobody was home. They all went off to other places for the night to not be there. And the RA just looks at this and goes, you know this is all illegal, right? I'm like, I wasn't even here last night. I didn't know this was happening. I said, if I knew that this was behind the door, I wouldn't have opened the door to you. I would have fucking left.
Right.
And he's like, well, make sure it's cleaned up. I'm like, no, I didn't fucking enjoy this party. I'm not going to clean it up. Fuck these guys.
No. That would happen with... Oh, fuck, it actually did. I think it did. Because like I said last week, I think it was in last week's episode, I had like the party house. Or I might have been texting you, I don't remember. Everything blurs together at this point. But in Cincinnati, I had the party house. It was like 9 to 12 of us at any point in between like 4 years of living there. And I remember coming back many times to just so much trash. Red wine. Have you ever smelled red wine left overnight?
No. I imagine it's got a strong vinegary scent, though.
Fucking disgusting. And I don't know who was drinking red wine at a fucking college party, but I imagine they're probably in jail at this point.
With the guy that made shitburgers.
And a woman who probably used her yeast infection to make... Yeah. So, I don't know who that was, but that... I remember very vividly being the petty person who, if they weren't my dishes, I'm not doing it. Wasn't doing it.
Right.
So that shit stayed there for like over 2 weeks. But it wasn't nearly as bad as what your roommate situation sounded like. But it was just like nobody ever wanted to clean up after the party.
Right.
Like, but everyone expected me to clean up the day after my birthday party. But nobody else ever cleaned up after their Tuesday afternoon.
Bitches.
I'm so glad to not have any roommates. I know, they really are... I've had 2 people since I bought this house who have asked me, can I move in? And I just can't... I cannot fathom being, like, just outwardly with no conversation saying, can I move in?
Right. Without being like, hey, we're good friends, we get along great, I think our lifestyles would mesh well, why don't we, consider moving? Nothing like that, nothing like, hey, I'm looking at lessening my bills, I was looking for a roommate, would you possibly? None of it, just like, hey, you bought a house, I'd like to move in with you.
Yeah, and not to mention that both of them who asked, their lifestyles do not match up with mine in any way, shape, or form.
Which would have made it an absolute nightmare.
The pets don't match. The lifestyles, the consumption, nothing matches. And I'm friends with them, but there'd be no way in fucking hell I'd ever live with them.
Right. So I did do roommates several times in my early 20s because rent's expensive. And in your early 20s, you don't fucking have money. And so I would have roommates. I owned a single wide trailer. It was a single wide. It wasn't double wide. It was a single wide trailer.
You owned it?
Yeah, my grandparents bought it when they moved out of their house that was being condemned because they couldn't live in it any longer. It was falling apart. So they bought a trailer with their savings and then moved into it. And then when my grandmother passed away, my grandfather was going to go live with one of my aunts. And so the trailer was just in my mom's name, and she's like, well, I'm not going to pay for a trailer no one's going to live in. Like, I don't want it. And then Corey, I think, just renewed his lease on his apartment. So he's like, well, I'm not going to break it and spend thousands of dollars paying up the lease. And so I was about at the end of my lease. I think I had like a month or 2 left, and I was like, I'll fucking take it. I said, I can't occupy it right away because I got to get my shit out and all that and finish up my lease. But I moved in, and then it was, compared to owning a house, relatively cheap. If you own the trailer,
But is it like an RV trailer, or is it like literally a...
no, an actual module home.
Those are great, though, nowadays.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this one was built like in the 70s, I think, so it was old.
Oh. God, I would buy one now.
So I had roommates. I can't even remember like the order of roommates I had, but like one of them
in the single wide.
Yeah, like we had it was 2-bedroom, one on each end of the trailer, and they got their own bathroom, and I had my own bathroom. So like it was cool. It was a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom trailer. And the one that lived with me had blackout curtains because he would stay up all hours of the night, go to Walmart at like 4 in the morning to buy Pokemon cards and shit. And then he would come back home, stay up, watch anime, and then he would go back to his room and sleep till like 5 in the evening. And then he'd come back out when I was like at the end of my day, just hanging out at home or whatever. And like I've peered in his room, and it's just like trash everywhere. And he was good about keeping it contained to that room, which is fine with me. You do what you want with your room, so long as it's not.
Oh, is it
littered out?
Oh,
yeah.
it's fine with you.
Yeah.
Today, it's fine with you.
Yeah, it's totally fine with me, so long as it's not in my general space, not affecting my health. Why is this show just shitting on people as vaguely as we can without giving away?
Because that's what it is. The original concept of this show was us going to be shit-talking anyone we could think of.
And then we decided that all of those people would get a hold of the videos that we were talking to them.
Because I love talking shit. So if you want to talk shit and you want to call in, I'll do it. I'll do it with you.
Talk shit about people you know.
Yeah, I'll do it with you all day.
We could do that. I wonder if we could do that for like bonus episodes. Have people call in and just shit talk people to us.
You want me to call them for you? I will do that too.
That's what the videos were supposed to be originally. They were supposed to be knockoffs of Cameo, but people didn't use them for that.
No, I will call and rip anyone's throat apart for you. If you don't have the balls to do it, I will.
But in any case, one of the next guys I had as a roommate, fucking had sex on our couch with another dude. I mean, it wasn't the dude on dude that was the problem. It was just that he had sex on our couch.
Yeah.
That people sit on. Apparently, too, it was a quite...
How did you find out?
I think he told... Okay, so at the time, I was seeing a girl. I wasn't dating her. For whatever reason, I didn't want to put a label on. I didn't want to be in a relationship with her. I just wanted to be free. And we were just kind of seeing each other regularly.
Because putting a label on it complicates things?
No, putting a label on it is when things go wrong. Nothing to do with the actions of the individuals within the relationship. Something about a relationship label makes people want to go out and fuck the nearest thing they can find, apparently.
That's true.
Anyway, he told the girl that I was seeing who stayed over that night after we had like a big party of people and a bunch of drinking and everything. And he told her that he hooked up with this dude on the couch. And he was like, it was such a strenuous night. He said the dude would not come. And they were at it for like 6 hours, and they could not get the other dude to get off.
6 hours?
Yeah. We're all fucking passed out, drunk in our beds, or at least me and her were. Everyone else went home.
Okay, but it's a single wide, so like, how did you not hear any of this?
Apparently, the alcohol was doing me a favor, and I was passed the fuck out. So they're out butt fucking on the couch. He can't get the other dude to get off. The other dude said this is just a regular problem with any partner he has where he can't get off. Which sounds like a real issue in life in general. And I wake up to get this news as I'm cleaning up all of the mess from the night before. And the girl was like, I went to go sit down on the couch. She's like, I wouldn't sit there. And I said, why? She was like, people were butt fucking on it last night.
What did you do?
I think, because of being poor, I just put a blanket over it.
You didn't kick him out?
No, I couldn't afford to. I think he did eventually move back in with his mom or something.
Which, alright, full disclosure, no one's getting kicked out over their sexual behavior. But
fucking on the couch that everyone sits on.
Yeah, like, there's just certain borders you just don't cross.
Yeah, if you're gonna fuck on a couch, it's gotta be your parents' couch while they're at Sunday service. Now I understand why they were so angry. I got to experience that later on in life.
Yeah.
People fucking on your couch will ruin your mood.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want anybody's yeast infection all over while you're trying to eat a cinnamon roll. You just don't know.
You don't know. You give it a little lick, you think, oh, this tastes like sourdough.
Just take me to hell.
You're already going. You got a shift, don't you?
Starts at 11.
So,
Fuck.
we haven't even got to the strip clubs, and we're at like an hour and 15 minutes. Are we kicking the can on the strip clubs down the road again?
Alright, so we're kicking the can again, because we're running out of time. We will open next week's episode with me talking about St. Patrick's Day. It was wild. It was expensive.
For those of you concerned, there was nothing weird with his cousin at the swinger bar.
Started with a swinger bar the first night. Ended up at a strip club the second night.
Telling everyone about me Winnie the Poohing it all over the place. You're a fucking terrible.
I was like, no, not. It's fucking hysterical. If you think I'm a terrible friend, you would not like these dudes that she's friends with because they just shit on each other so much. They were tasing each other upstairs.
I'm too exhausted as a father of 3 to be dealing with people like that. I would much rather be playing Helldivers for 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was actually a lot of fun. But it made me realize that some of the things that I say and do to people are tame. And I probably should kick it up a few notches. Because it'll be funnier. But yeah, St. Patrick's Day, strip clubs, don't go. Because you're going to be the only ones there. And they are going to swindle you.
They're going to... What was surge price you?
I don't even think it was surge pricing. I think it was swindling.
It was just straight up jacking
Just straight
you.
up swindling.
Jacking you without jacking you.
Could have probably. Well, so we're going to save that story for next week.
Another strip club
Again,
story.
for next week. I think I said last week that I would tell you guys about it next week. But it's getting kicked the can. We are kicking the can down the road again.
And I'm going to have strip club stories because I'm not a prude who's afraid of nudity. Unlike how other people might perceive me thanks to you.
Whatever you say.
So,
Whatever you say.
I know how we're justifying our behavior this week. You want to plug some socials before we go? You want people to follow you anywhere?
Reverend Topola or President Topola on all socials. Reverend Topola. President Topola. Topola. I think it's on... I do not have Twitter anymore. It won't let me log back in. So I just don't have it. It's still there. But yeah, don't try and follow me there because it's inactive. But Facebook, Instagram, and I think that's it. Yeah, I think Discord, same thing. But if you really want to see my life, TikTok. Follow me there. Yeah. What about you?
You can find me at basically every social media outlet at this point. Well, not everyone. I don't do Mastodon. I don't do that. I don't do
Oh yeah, that's that fucking
Blue Sky or whatever that one was.
I hope Blue Sky takes off because it's literally Twitter.
Right, so the people who invented Twitter.
Yeah, and they just copied it because it's their code.
Right.
But I don't like the name.
Yeah.
The name is terrible.
It's kind of dumb. I guess it's better than X though. Anyway, Twitter, Instagram, Reels, Facebook. I feel like I'm missing one. TikTok.
Threads.
That's the one I was missing.
I love Threads.
All of them are at Unfeeling Dragon, all one word. It was a PlayStation username that PlayStation recommended to me when I was like 15. I said, hell yeah, that sounds cool as shit.
It was recommended to you?
Yeah, they used to have a name generator wheel or whatever. And you could have it spin, and it would give you a suggested username that wasn't taken.
Oh, I thought it was just because you were depressed.
So depressed. You think Unfeeling Dragon was a manifestation of my depression and not like my sexual dominance campaign?
No, I just thought it had something to do with like your emotions. I didn't know what it was.
Well, I'll let you know that I was so full of myself as a teenager that once I had a few sexual partners under my belt, I thought I was all that in a bag of chips. I almost said shit because for some reason shit's on the
Yeah, right?
A bag of chips. And I made my signature on my first phone text Eros, which is the Greek god of sex and pleasure.
Who in the fuck used signatures with text messages?
This guy who wanted women to know that as he was texting them, he could be pleasuring them instead.
Okay, and with that, tune in to this great podcast. You know, it's ever evolving. It doesn't seem to ever follow a fucking agenda. We like to ramble. We like to talk shit. And if you like to ramble and like to talk shit, then you will like this show. So, tune in to next week. I think it's episode 6 is next week.
Yep.
We are flying through. We're kicking it off. And I think we'll be at episode 10 relatively quickly.
To shut down.
And then that's when I will just check in for my fucking shift to hell. Because at episode 10, I imagine within that 10 episodes, I will have just said too much shit that I'm just going to just give up.
I know. I go from week to week going, what are we going to talk about the next week? I don't even know.
We don't even need to think about it. Because our text thread every day.
Right, and then I was driving here, and I was like, I don't have anything to like kick off the show in a funny, clever way like I always try to do. And then Bubby did his sideways spill, and I was like, there it is! I fucking found it!
There it is!
Let's talk about what a shit parent I am sometimes.
Oh, God. All right, we'll see y'all next week.
Yeah, and to close out this week's episode...
I thought we literally closed it out already.
We have to do our justification. We might not be great people.
Oh, yeah.
But we don't leave shitburgers in the toilet for other people to find. Well, I mean, other than the patty that Kristen had to deal with for like 24 hours. She looked at that thing and she goes, I don't know how there's anything left inside of your body.
Oh my god. That is the title. That is the fucking title.
Shitburgers?
Yeah. That's the title.
Oh, good luck with AI generation on a episode picture for that.
That's fine. We'll figure something out. Dude, it's 9 o'clock.
Yep. I'm gonna go home, change my clothes, pack a lunch, and go to work. See ya.